Well, on this one, we're getting back to Mike's 12A, fuel-injected 12A. As you can see, it's all tore apart. We had a couple mishaps. So, we're getting to some upgrades here. So now that we're back with this thing, we'll show you what we did. We pulled the engine out so we could weld a bung in the front cover here, the 10AN drain for the turbo. Started recording before and the phone didn't record, so the manifold's on there. Obviously we're turboing this thing. People ask, it's an adapter plate, JDL manufacturing to Turbo 2 lower intake manifold. Great. We did a few things to this thing. Didn't record is we did electric water pump, side mount alternator and stuff, so that's all done. You'll see it when it's all back together here, I guess. But the biggest mishap is we pulled the front cover off and I said, hey Mike, let's check that front bearing while we're in here, and he actually had a spun bearing that was been in there since he blew an oil line all summer and somehow didn't annihilate the engine. Either way, he's the luckiest person on the face of the earth. I've never really taken one of these apart that have spun a bearing that haven't annihilated the entire engine. There was no shavings in the oil. Oil filter was kind of clean. There was like a few little things in the oil pan, but nothing crazy. Normally these bearings just get sucked in the engine, annihilate everything. Somehow it managed to stay on the E-shaft. It like welded itself to the E-shaft and spun inside the stationary gear. I've never really seen that before. So we were able to just tear it down and press a new bearing in the gear, and we reshimmed the engine, checked for end play, stuff like that, to see if there were any other issues. So far, so good. It's all back together. So we'll take it as we take it. But since we had to tear the motor apart, change the bearing in the E-shaft, there's a brass plug in all of the Mazda engines right here, even the Rx8s, 13Bs, all of it. We pull it out and then run an M14 tap on it, and you have your oil feed for your turbo instead of using crazy adapter plates and all kinds of crazy stuff. So upgraded the clutch, put an ACT in it so it'll actually hold the power. We got a Turbo Smart wastegate here, and then for our intercooler setup, we got an intercooler out of a first gen Eclipse. It's pretty big. It's like 4 inches thick by like a lot of inches wide. But he's dicking around with some wiring right now for a starter. Guess he wanted to mess around with that.
Still clean
so
oil.
I got this turbo manifold in here with one hand in the last video that didn't record. So we're gonna set this up now that we got the gimbal out and the microphone so you can actually hear us, and work on this thing a little bit and show you our process of complete absolute chaos right now, because it is 100% chaos with this gimbal too. There's stuff piled everywhere, and all this stuff over here in a random bucket, and yeah, there's the turbo TX 76 I believe, or something like that. I'll look later and then figure it out from there. There's this old clutch. It already slipped, so turbo, that was a failure. And then our downpipe we're going to be modifying substantially, and I already made some intercooler pipes for this. So we'll try to get this thing on the gimbal and record or do something here. First things first is we got to get this adapter plate off. This is going to make people crazy. And put some gaskets in there and get this lower intake manifold on, and go from there. So we'll be right back. Well, we got into this and didn't film like normal. But like I said, we made these intercooler pipes. We still need a blow-off valve for this side for Mike's deal. This is all mounted now, permanent. It's not going anywhere, so you can shake the whole car around. But we're balls deep in making a downpipe for this thing right now. We got our pie cut here, and then we're gonna come down towards the firewall and in. And then he's still got to make his oil lines and get this water pump on, the electric water pump and stuff. Right now, this is where I'm at with the downpipe. he just went to go get more pipe because he forgot to bring it up. So we got our elbow here with the bung in it already. And yeah, we'll point you at the floor. So right now I need to come back to like here with this. So we got to get the pipe cut and whatnot. I don't like that this is so close to the intake manifold, but with this manifold that he got, I really have no choice. And our elbow here kind of bumps into this, so that's why it's got to come back here and turn so it can follow the transmission down. But as soon as he gets back here with the pipe, we'll start digging into this and actually film and get somewheres. But like I said, he's got his electric water pump somewheres, like right there. He's got to put all that on. Oil drain is done. Like I said, TIG welded in there. We had to make it, never going to see it on here, a little trick deal. Kick that sideways away from the manifold. Like I said, we were waiting on that spacer. We got it now without the spacer, crashed right into the manifold. So that's where we're at. So as soon as he gets back with some pipe, we'll dig into this. We pretty much got the car all back together. Didn't want to just not make anything on this. So blow-off valves all TIG welded on, Turbo Smart. Somehow he managed to get a blue one, so nothing matches. Anyways, we made a new throttle bracket, and yeah, I got a lot of moisture in here because of the propane heat. But any of these engines, I don't know if we went over it earlier, but we'll go over it again, is there's just brass plugs in here, and you can tap them and pull them out. And then all we did is run a tap M14 1.5 into here, put the fitting, and then did a hard line over to the turbo, which is way nicer looking than the steel braided one. We're gonna make a little bracket here and here, just so it doesn't wobble around, because it's just NICOP. He has a spale fan coming, should be here tomorrow, and we're waiting on a muffler. But like I said, we were in the middle of the downpipe when we did this. So we got the downpipe all together, TIG'd, full exhaust is on. Like I said, there's the Turbo Smart wastegate, vacuum line coming up to the front of the turbo. Just got a 4-pound spring in it for now. We'll put a boost controller on it and bring it up to around 7. And then we move the overflow up here because it's obviously not going to work over there anymore. He just got some cheap China thing that was some sort of overflow whatever, but it does work. Just comes down around, feeds into the bottom here. Anything that he's got to put a hose on here, and then anything from there is just gonna, you know, we're gonna drill a hole and then boil over. But you shouldn't push out that much coolant. If you're pushing out that much coolant into your overflow, you got bad coolant seals. So yeah, you don't want to deal with that. And then get the breather mounted down there. Somehow we found a purple one, and right now he's gonna have to upgrade his fuel system. But as you can see, Rx7 blue automatic injectors. I believe they're like 600 cc's anyways. So he's got 550s and 600s, so he's good for the 4 pounds right now until he upgrades those. And then even though we're using sound, so anyways, the camera shut off in between. But like I said, smart coils, and all you got to do is split the signal from the Microtech. It doesn't care. It's still waste spark, but they have their own ignition module on them, so you just send the signal to each one, you split it, and it runs fine. And like I said, turbo 2 coils. You can't do it on the back because it's got a switching module in it, and basically you'll blow the car up because it's not going to fire the trailing right. So you have to do that. So other than that, we're looking good. He's got his fan coming. We got the full exhaust on, 3-inch all the way back. I don't know if I can get a shot and see here, or if you can see anything. Got a MagnaFlow resonator in between. It's all tucked up nice. As you can see, it's above the frame. So 3-inch isn't too terrible to get on these cars as I crawl around and try to show you. 3-inch goes right over the axle. I know it's dark under here. And then back, we're just waiting on the muffler, so we just got that spouted for now. We'll put a little downspout on here, but you got all the factory hangers. Everything's ran in the factory spot. Nice and easy. Everybody complains it's a pain to get 3-inch on these cars. It's actually pretty easy. I'm going to be doing 3.5 on mine pretty soon. But other than that, he's got to get his interior back together and get his boost gauge in here so we can see what's going on. Yeah, so we're looking good. Unfortunately, we didn't really film anything. We have had it running. I think he has a video of it running, which I'll have him send that to me and I'll put it in the clip. But if there's any questions on any of this stuff, just comment. I mean, it's pretty straightforward setup. Just a regular raising rate fuel pressure regulator, turbo 2 manifold with the adapter to go to the 12A, and yeah, we're pretty much ready to go, other than the fact that we got buried with snow here. So same thing, we can't really test drive anything. So in an upcoming video we'll test drive. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Kind of wish I filmed a little more in this. Actually, we may film a little more when he comes up. We'll have it running and stuff. So alrighty.